this fidget spinner. Oh.
Good evening, friends.
Hello, everybody. We're back.
Mm.
We're back with Trash, and we're ready to do the thing.
Yeah, we've only had one person shouting at us this time.
Yeah.
For missing a week.
Yep. It was only a week this time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not 3.
Not
No.
3. That was our worst one.
We're almost consistent.
We're the worst. We're so sorry. But yeah, we went to Empire.
Yes, we did go to Empire.
We did. We went to E3 and it was an adventure, and we're going to talk about it now because we can. And yes,
we don't have to talk about it. We could talk about something else.
We could, but like it's our podcast, so yeah. Empire. Also, because my brain has been filled with nothing but Empire since Empire.
It's true. I need to get some of this out before I explode.
Legit, need froth. It needs to happen. Just purge. Oh man, it's like bleeding a wound. Keen wound.
Bleeding. Wasn't that bad? Wasn't that like a misconception that they had during the Dark Ages?
I mean, probably. I might still be running off of Dark Ages medicine. I'm gonna be honest here. That's another consequence of going to Empire. You will run off of Dark Ages medicine and wonder why everyone's not using more leeches. Frankly.
That's a bad kind of OCIC bleed. You know, a bit of like personality crossover is bearable, but when you start thinking about medieval medical tech practices, that's when it gets pretty bad.
Yeah, it's that
especially
moment
if you are a medical professional IRL.
Definitely. It's that moment when you're walking past a hospital and you're just like, I wonder if they're using the real good leeches up in there today, or subpar.
The leeches with the good suck.
Dem hungry boys. Anyway,
yeah. FMUF. I
FMUF.
guess a similar format, if you can call it that, to the last one. We'll go sort of day by day.
Yeah.
What did I say about day by day, play by play? I think is what I said last time.
I think that works. It rhymes. It's fine. Professional. You go fast. You go fast.
I go fast.
You go fast. We're a little bit delirious. We're sorry.
So the event, here we go. The event is obviously Friday through Sunday. However, my first highlight comes the day before. Before time in hath cometh.
Oh my goodness.
It's on the Thursday. Empire, you can get there on the Thursday, you pay a $5, and it means you get to stay the night and sort of camp out of character with all your friends, hang out. Normally, a lot of people will drink a lot of alcohol. Unimportant. It gives you a nice day to walk around all the stalls and the shops and buy all the shinies you don't need, but you do need.
And you want.
And you can't afford.
Yeah. The things that you'll need to sell a kidney for later.
Exactly. So my first highlight comes when we were, as a little group, I think it was on the Thursday. If it wasn't, then it is, because it's my podcast, our podcast.
Yeah, excuse you, bitch. Sorry. My podcast. Get that shit out of here.
Tip of the tongue.
Fucking
we
rude.
were strolling amongst the shops, looking at all the shiny things, and some guy comes over to me.
Oh, this! I forgot about this!
And I've never met this guy before in my life. At least I think I haven't. Sorry if I have. I don't think I have. And he's like, oh, are you Charles? And I'm like, yes, that is my name.
I am this.
You know when someone asks you your name and you're like, what? Or like,
I identify
when you're
as
in your
such.
shop and you're buying alcohol and they ID you and they're like, how old are you? And you're like,
Yes.
20, and even though you know. Yeah.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah, I think I'm Charles.
I could be Monica today.
I was like, looking at him like, I don't know this person's name. Who are they? And he's like, oh, I've been listening to FMUF. I've commented on one of the previous episodes and I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Having them palpitations.
Potato-tations.
I was in Potato Nation.
You were. We were with a lot of Potato Nation.
He just sort of complimented it and was talking about how he'd been listening, and he was a pretty sound guy. He's got this awesome badass helmet that he had to get edited because it had like fangs on it, and it was just awesome sort of boar, I think it was, helmet. But yeah, it was slightly too sharp for safety, but they actually ground it down for him at the event, which I think was pretty badass.
Wow.
But yeah, I think he's in Wyvern's Watch. I saw him with them after the monstering on Sunday. I kept bumping into him every now and then. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I didn't know what to do. I sort of turned to you and I went, Ella, this person who I've never met before has just said that he watched the thing or listened to the thing.
He listened to the thing. Honestly, I had to have a mini freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We both needed a minute.
Because, you know, when your friends come over and say, like, where's the next episode, that's cool, but that's like your mum listening, you know? We appreciate you guys, but at the same time...
It's our field fam.
and
our very supportive field fam.
Yeah, so that was big, and it made me squee. And
yeah, almost had a fucking heart attack in the middle of, I think it was like Chow's Emporium or Darkblade or something.
One of those ones, yeah.
One of the ones.
Before the event even started.
Oh man, fucking what a roller coaster of emotions. Like, just fucking walking around feeling like, oh no, my bank account, I can feel it draining as I'm looking at all this beautiful tat that I want to buy for my body. And then you turn around and someone is telling you that they like your podcast, and suddenly the floor is looking like real comfortable, and you need to take a moment.
I didn't get your name because I was a little bit shocked. But
he was Squee.
Because that means a lot.
Thank you. Seriously, dude. Like, we need to, if you see us again, do the thing and say the highs again, and that goes for everybody. We're semi-approachable nerds. Yeah. We're approachable,
but we're just we'll be a bit like a rabbit caught in the headlights.
A little bit.
It's not because of any kind of like fame. We're introverts.
Yeah, we love you guys and we want to chat, but if we seem awkward, we're very sorry.
We just are.
We just are a little bit awkward. It's why we do podcasting and not like
vlogging.
Yeah, exactly. It's why we keep putting off our vlog episode and shit. It's like we just awkward. Oh man. Anyway, so that was Thursday. We had a rabbit in the headlights, holy fuck, people like our thing moment, which thank you again, guys. And drank alcohol and went to bed. Yeah. And
that's a normal Thursday. Sort of looking at the shops, meeting people you haven't seen in a while, because LARPers come from everywhere. And even actually, I had to give a little shout out. My friend Joel, who came all the way from Sweden for his first ever Empire event this time, which is awesome. He's been wanting to come because before I went to my other first event, this girl Helen, she put together a little group of people that was going to be their first event.
Yeah,
and he was in there as well because he was keen to come. And so for over a year now, he's been trying to get here. And he got like pulled into like military service for a bit, and now he finally made it. And I hope he had a good time. I haven't actually spoken to him about it. But yeah, people come from all over to Empire, and you get to see him and hang out on the Thursday. And then on Friday,
the shit happens.
Whilst you're nursing that hangover, and you wish it would just maybe be a little bit longer.
Yep.
Until 10 in. And so you got to put on that chainmail.
That face paint.
Someone sounds the horn.
And
beacons are lit.
Yeah, and then someone yells "standing," and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. So Friday for me, once again, was a very much no time for the meeting and greeting in character. Wintermark, my beloved nation, had a series of skirmishes, so smaller battles going out straight after time in. Like time in's we were in armor and ready before time in even happened. So we could just be running through the gate. And there was about 4 or 5 that were for Wintermark. And because we normally do battle practice as a nation. We sort of use our big gathering area as a battle practice. And we have a big moot at the beginning where we talk about concerns and things happening in the nation. However, we approached the moot and they were all like, if you want to fight, you gotta fucking go right now.
Oh my god.
We waved at the moot as we ran by. And we actually held the battle practice outside the Sentinel Gate, which pissed off a lot of people.
Amazing.
But that was good fun. And it was basically, fighty, practicing with each other. And then we need 25 people to go through that gate now. And it was good fun. I always enjoy the battle practice. There was a bit of a case of Wintermark's a huge nation filled with a lot of warriors. And the skirmish had limited amount of spaces, so some people did miss out, unfortunately. Yeah. But they made it clear, like 6 or 7 times, like they agreed that it was not fair, and of course it's not fair. But everyone, had to make it clear. He was picking people at random for the skirmishes rather than showing any kind of favoritism, which was good. But yeah, that was tough. But the actual fight itself was. Oh wait, no, that wasn't easy. That was hard. Wait, what am I thinking about? Yeah, damn. I was thinking of the event before that when we walked over them. No, this one was tough. We almost lost a few people. It was only like it was 25 versus 25, so nice and even. But it was a bit of a squeaky bum time.
Yeah. What were you fighting?
The Jotun.
Okay,
They basically. So for the brief of what we were doing, there was a bunch of refugees, sort of unarmed. Refugees fleeing a fortification, I think, or a town, and the Jotun were hunting them down and either killing them or recruiting them. That's what they do. They tend to give you the choice between death or becoming a thrall in their armies, or a slave, not slave. It's a nice.
It's a slave.
It's a slave.
It's a slave, guys.
But yeah, so we went in there. We had to kill them. See if they asked them if we had to give them the choice between retreating or fighting.
And they chose fighty fight.
No, actually, they every time we it was a big fight at the beginning, obviously, and then once the fight had gone on for a little bit, some people had down on either sides. They took the choice of retreating to live another day, and they told us that the refugees were miles away, but they were tracking and trying to kill them. So
heck,
yeah, that was big and fighty.
Yeah, man. Where was that? Was that in Summerstuac? Or?
It was, yeah. Lots popping in Summerstuac. So for a bit of background, Wintermark has 3 big territories: Summerstuac, Hanmark, and Calavesa, and we lost the majority rule of Summerstuac recently, so it is no longer under our control. And so there is lots of orcs parading around in there, killing lots of civilians and having a bit of a party. So
having a murder
that's
party.
sort of big on Wintermark's agenda right now because it's one of our homelands. But yeah.
Legit.
And then came back from that skirmish, sort of had a little breather, got back into battle practice, obviously. It was still going on this whole time.
Amazing.
Some of the Imperial Orcs joined in with the battle practice.
Ooh, fuck.
It was quite funny.
That's cool.
Yeah, and what else happened on Friday?
More battle? Did you go to any more skirmishes after that? Or?
I don't think I did. I think that was just a quiet Friday for once. It was... So... I probably had a bit of a wonder.
Because I didn't see you at all on the Friday.
No.
Like, at all.
No.
Not hide nor hair.
No.
See,
my Friday was pretty quiet.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And on to you.
Yeah.
When I did see you, you were running full sprint screaming across a field. So,
yep.
I want to hear more about that.
Mate. So, I will preface this by saying my character actually kicked the bucket this event.
No.
Yeah, she died. Went
Spoilers.
to the Great Venom. Look, it's important as context here because this is the most insane fucking weekend ever. Like it was crazy. But yeah, she went to the Great Venom Gods in the sky.
Spirit in the sky.
Spirit in the sky. Yeah, Friday was fucking insane. And to preface all of this, my character died, but she had the most insane 1.5 days of her entire fucking stupid mercenary life. Like, Anvil knows how to give a girl a good final day on Earth, is all I'm saying. So, Friday, what happened? Timed in, had a bit of a chat with everyone at Standing, didn't really basically see Standing, because as soon as we got time in, like you, we went on a skirmish, just like that. We were involved.
Straight away.
Absolutely. So we ran off to that. I can't even remember what we were fucking fighting. It was just ridiculous. I think it was orcs. But yeah, we rolled in and started fighty to get to the objective. We had to cast a ritual and protect the ritual team. And that went fine, mostly. Yeah. And then I turn around and see that there are 2 people on the floor, almost, but pretty much behind enemy lines, including one of our egregores.
Oh, no.
Bleeding out. So it's at this point that we're starting to try and push back, and I just full on fucking combat slide past these orcs to get to the downed egregore and this other guy, and we just get them up as soon as possible. And I learned afterwards that this egregore had about like 3 seconds left on her bleed time.
Yeah, big old hero moment.
Fucking yeah. So that was big hero moment number 1. Oh man, there were so many. And then after that, we went back to the Navarre camp, saw everyone. I've got a fair few friends in the Navarre camp. You know, we hang out, we chill, we have
kind of a big deal.
We have nah, not at all. But we have banter. And then Songs and Stories happened, which was and is always absolutely fucking fantastic.
It's amazing. The atmosphere they set in the bar camp is amazing.
Oh god, it's so good. And it's so welcoming. Like, anyone can get up and sing. Doesn't matter like who you are, what nation you are. If you've got a song, we were all about it. Just get up and do the thing. Unless you say that the Valinor tote's great, in which case, fuck you. And then it was at this time that some of the orcs actually came into the camp, and they got up in the Standing in Songs and Stories. and we're singing "What do you do, smash?" and like they were talking about smashing down fortifications through rituals.
It's the gate renders, they're the purple ones.
Oh yeah,
they're all about smash.
They're so cool.
Yeah, they're
oh man, like we were watching them, going, "Holy fuck, we will never match these people in their awesomeness." That what? How are you this? We are not worthy. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. So that was great, and I'm just sitting there in Songs and Stories, minding my own merry little business, my merry little Navari business, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, so I look up, and it's one of our egregores, Tal.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know this, you know what this is, yeah. And he goes, Pip, I need to have a chat with you. Can we have a walk? And I was like, yeah, okay, let's go for a walk. Walks me down this dark alleyway out of Navar camp towards the Eternal tent. And at this point, I'm getting a little bit suspicious because this is usually what I do to people before I stab them in the back.
Yeah.
But no, we keep walking, and then we reach the table by the Eternal Family tent, and there are 5 of them or so just sat there with their hands on the table like, oh, this is going to be fun. And there's Tal's brother standing by the table with his dagger out, grinning.
Oh, Lord.
At this point, Tal comes up behind me and goes, paralysis.
No.
I hear Sean to my side say, oh, you're going to enjoy this. And then they start a ritual to pour loads of spring magic into my brain.
Yay.
Yeah, so that was interesting because they went full-on blood ritual, as is classic Navari style, with lots of daggers and like sort of lacerations and shenanigans and just yelling generally. So this ritual ended, and I get handed a wand and said, you have 5 venoms a day and a lot of spring magic in your brain that you basically can't control. Go have fun.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, so at that point, Pip turned tail, ran back into the Navar camp, and assaulted like 5 people. Just by hitting them with venom, which was some of the most hilarious RP I've ever gotten myself embroiled in. It was fucking hilarious.
So venom, for those who don't know,
yes,
is a bad one. So your Empire, as per base, you can get upgraded, but you have 3 minutes. If you get hit to 0 points, you have 3 minutes before you bleed out dead. Venom makes that 3 minutes 30 seconds.
Yep. And yeah, some of these people I hit had 1 hit left.
Oh lordy!
So if they went down, they'd be brown bread.
Yep.
And that was 2 people, including my coven mate. And if they had died, we'd have lost the entire fucking coven.
Nice.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I had a lot of fun. At one point, I was walking, sort of running around giggling and with my venom stick. And said member of my coven
with your venom stick.
Legit that. And this member of my coven like tried to physically restrain my character, and she went, no, fuck that, reached back, venomed him in the face, and ran off giggling. Given that one of the guys who was trying to who was basically the deputy of the scouts was in a hammock like 5 feet away at the time, he told me this afterwards, that he looked up having heard this and just went, not my problem, and went back to sleep.
Not my jurisdiction.
Not my problem now. She's not technically scouting currently. It's fine. So yeah, it was hilarious. And one of the venoms was actually spent on a consensual venom.
Consensual
venom. Consensual venom. Yeah,
I've almost been consensual venomed before.
Yeah, you have. But that's because you're a nutter. He's absolute weapon. But yeah, this one of our lovely Navari members, shout out to Liam Pender here, he sort of confronted my character and went, okay, will you feel better if you can venom someone who's given their consent to be venomed? And I was like, maybe. He just went, just do it. So I was like, okay, venom. And he took it like a champ, bless his heart, like staggering off going, oh my god, I've been venomed, I need help. Oh shit, this is awful. And it was hilarious. Just really funny. And then I got told off by the militia, so worth it. Hilarious. Typical. Good times. But yeah, didn't get arrested despite like 5 counts of assault. Banter.
A lot of assault.
So much assault. Oh man, what a son of a bitch. Okay, anyway, yeah, that was basically my Friday.
Your Friday. Nice.
Saving egregores and getting kidnap rituals, and then attacking half of the Navar.
I like that. That's good. That's a good Friday.
Some good shit, man. It was some good shit.
Oh.
Usually Friday's one of the more quiet days for me.
It is, yeah. I'm still reeling from Thursday. Just want like an early night, and then you're out there killing people or assaulting people.
Yep, assaulting and almost killing.
Poisoning, yeah.
Many people of my own nation. Oops. Ooh.
So
Yeah.
Saturday though.
Oh man, Saturday
was the big battle that I was fighting as my character in, and that was an interesting one. Yeah. So you were monstering that, were you?
I was monstering that one, yes.
Yeah. So
I was a herald.
Oh yeah, awesome, shouty, loud herald.
I was shouty bitch herald.
So Wintermark, we went in, and it's the first time ever we got to fight with the Imperial Orcs. I'd never done it before. I'd always monstered against them, and I really wanted to fight with them. They oh god, they do like they're like psyching themselves up before they go through the Sentinel Gate.
Yeah, run through screaming.
Oh, exactly. We go in, we line up against them. We keep advancing. They shout at us. It's good fun.
Yep.
We had a runner come over to us. You're meant to be back there, Ailson. I know.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Ailson.
We keep moving forward.
God damn it.
Anyway, so the fight consisted of fighting in the field and fighting in the woods. So the Empire, there is a large open field space and quite a nice woodland next to it, with a few gates linking, which gives some nice bottlenecks for fighting. So there were three fortifications in the field that we had to take one by one, which revealed each one had a some sort of ritual stone in it, which had to have rituals cast on them.
Yeah.
So we cleared those fortifications pretty well. I don't think we lost anyone in our group from any of that. Just sort of swept through them, fighting with the Imperial Orcs. They're badass, cool. And I can't remember who else was there. Brass Coast, I think. The Marchers. And we clear the field, and it's all good fun times.
Yeah.
But we then had to hold, because the Jotun were advancing from the woods, we had to hold in the woodlands for over an hour.
Yeah.
Which is quite a long time.
Especially for you guys, because you're not exactly woodland fighters, per se.
So the objective of this big fight, I actually know it for once. Normally we just get told to fight and we have no idea what's going on. Because our general cannot, or our leaders cannot be bothered to go to the meeting beforehand, and they're like, just kill what we tell you
just
to kill.
Kill the thing.
It's all good, but I actually know for once. So this was in Sermastuak again, like I said, big deal for Wintermark. And once again, there were refugees fleeing, and we had to do these rituals to slow down the advancing armies to let them escape, because they were women, children, men who were, infirm, people who were not warriors yet or did not choose the path of warriors, is how it was put. Because in Sermastuak, the Jotun were immeasurable. They're like 50,000 strong. They're an army, so it meant that they would just keep respawning, and it was not a fight we were meant to kill them all out. We were just meant to hold them off. So we went into the woods knowing full well we were outnumbered and outgunned.
Bad.
And
outnumbered, outplanned.
It got crunchy.
Yeah, I heard.
I don't really know what happened. I've heard a few different things. Some say that we weren't supported as well as we should be, but that is a gripe for IC times.
Yeah.
I don't honestly know. I just went in there, did what I was told, formed a shield wall, but we got, for the first time ever, I was entirely surrounded. It was so awesome.
Scary.
Scary.
Oh yeah.
And so we formed a shield wall, but then they crunched us and we became a V, which is the worst shape to be.
Yep.
And then I turn around. So obviously I look behind me and I see them, and I look to my left and I see them. And I look in front of me, I see them. And it was weird.
You get that moment, don't you?
Since I've been going, and it's not me being big-headed, but a lot of the fights that I've been in, the player fights, have been they've gone well. Not necessarily easy, but they've ended up well. We've not lost anyone, or we've only lost one or two or something like that. So the first time ever, this was, oh shit.
We might all die here.
This could be everyone dead, because we became crushed like you were in E1, was it?
And pretty much E2 as well.
Yeah, full-on Battle of the Bastards moment where they're all like a mosh pit just squished together.
Yep.
And when you got armor and shield and sword, that's pretty crunchy. Anyway, and then I see two of my group go down, and I lock eyes with them, and I'm like, there's literally nothing I can do.
Yeah.
And I see another, and there's nothing I can do, and we're squishing. We managed to. I have one stay with me left. I have one hero point, and stay with me lets you get someone who is bleeding out onto 1 health, so they can flee and escape or get better healing. And I couldn't reach any of my own people.
Yep.
So I used it on some winter marker I'd never met before.
Oh.
I shout at them, I scream at them, I let all my fucking anger that I cannot save my family out on this one guy.
Oh.
And I get him back up, and I hope he survived. Or if he didn't, I'd be well upset. But I didn't even know I don't know what he looks like, because I was just so in the moment.
Yeah.
It was just a body on the floor. And,
get up, you bitch!
But yeah, and we just get pushed back, and I can't see my family anymore. We get pushed back, and then I hear that Ailson has said we should be retreating, and I'm like, fuck it. This is it.
Yeah.
Goodbye, my friends. But yeah, we lost. We fall back, and some people form up to hold it as we retreat. And I know some of them died, so they did a great job. And that wasn't sarcasm. They did a great job because they let everyone else escape.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Dunharth Hall, so my hall, my lovely banner and group, we lost 8.
Fuck.
Including who has been mentioned in pretty much every episode, Sam's character Banning. My character's in character cousin.
Like actual cousin.
Yeah, my
Dunning
best friend. No, yeah, because obviously in my group we all call each other cousin because we are a huge extended family. But he was my actual cousin.
Sad.
But yeah, he perished. But on an OC joke, it means that I survived longer than him. Yay. Yeah, a few. We lost 8, and then the Wyverns Watch are a good close group with us. They're our skirmishers. They also lost 8.
Fuck.
We lost a shed load.
Crunchy.
It was, and it was amazing, and it gave a bunch of role play as a whole. We had another family night where we shouted all their names, we drank to their names, told their stories. Feel sorry for Sam because in Wintermark, a big tradition we have is that if you do a heroic deed or something worth like burning into your soul, essentially, you'll get a name for it.
Yeah.
And he, in the skirmish on the Friday, had hit someone with his weapon, his sword, and at some point in the fight, the tip of the sword had actually sheared off, so that it became not LARP safe anymore. The tip of the sword sheared off. However, the scop that we had with us, the people who name people, was going to call them like Shattered Blade or something to memorize to commemorate it. But then his character died before
fucking died.
The chance. So
fuck.
He did not earn a name before me, so I win.
Oh, Charles! Fuck.
I have to joke about it because I'm really sad that everyone died.
You. Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, we had a lot of commemorating and such.
Faux shizzle, my nizzle. That's intense. That is intense.
It was. But yeah, I don't know what. But what we did do was we achieved the objective. We held out. As crunchy as it was, we held that woodland for over an hour. We had to do an hour for over an hour, so the ritual was complete. Objectives were all done. The battle itself was 100% a victory, and we lost some people.
So many, yeah.
And we had a big old rousing speech from Ailson. People do die in battle, and that's the way it's got to be. And that was nice and inspirational. Still sad. But yeah, we lost 8, and 5 of them, I think, all decided to re-roll their characters as a family of brothers. So they all turned back up again, all as bros. It's like, you guys are scum.
I hate you all. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good fun.
Brilliant.
And as penance, we are getting their names wrong at every turn. So Sam's new character is Grizzly. We call him Scrappy Doon. Bron is Bjorn. We've got Jack is now Jacques. I think there's one that I can't remember all of them, but we're making a point to never get their names correct. Out of spite. Pure out of character spite.
Brilliant.
Other Saturday things. Man, Saturday was a lot more busy for me. I love it when I have I think the problem is I love it when I have I have this to go at 5 o'clock, this to go at 6 o'clock, because it means I have things to aim for.
Yeah.
What I don't like is the fact that I don't carry around a timepiece with me.
No, so my god.
I have to be there at 5.
What time is it?
I have no idea what time it is.
Legit. What's a 5? What's time? I don't get it.
Yeah. So there was a big old archery competition this event. And one of the new members of my hall was going to that. Is a guy, Andrew, from LT, one of the Fenris lads. He was trying archery out, and he went to that. Bless him, it was very windy. And he didn't win. However, he did great. I'm proud of you, Andrew.
Good job, Andrew.
Yeah, the competition was very fierce. And straight after that, we had a few of us went to the orc pit fights.
I missed this, actually, because I was running around too much.
You were running around.
I was so fucking busy.
So, last event, they had the big orc pit fights, and that's for the Night of Worth, which is something they do at E2 every year. Sorry. However, a very important Imperial Orc perished in E2. I've been there since the very beginning of Empire, since the very first event.
Oof.
And so they were holding a memorial fight for him at this event, and everyone was invited. They had posters up all around the campsite, and they stepped it up and then some for this one. So it was big and it was loud at the last one. Like the finale, they had a guy thrown through a table. So that was last time. That was the one that you saw, right?
Yep.
So this time they went full Royal Rumble with it.
Oh my goodness.
So
okay,
there was a rope held across the entrance, and it was, you get in there, and if you get thrown out over that rope, you're out. But it wasn't just 2 people in at a time. People kept jumping in and jumping in and jumping in. And at one point, the apex was there were 9 orcs all fighting, fist fighting, kicking, throwing each other in that pit fight, in that pit at once.
Fucking
hell. It was incredible to watch.
I'm sad I missed it now.
Yeah, it was good fun. You did miss some good shouting. They had some usual warm-up matches again. You remember at E2 that Marcher guy came in, the one that pulled the knife? He came back, and he came back with some very strong words and a lot of fake blood. So they searched him before the fight. They pulled 6 weapons off of him. Swords, knives, hammers, like anything. So the fight started, and he started by exclaiming that they were going to use old Marcher rules, which is that if they were doing count 10, so obviously knock them out, and they had everyone get a chance to 10, like a wrestling match. I don't watch wrestling.
Yeah, what the fuck's a King Theory rule? Exactly.
So they count to 10, and if you stay down, then you're out, obviously. But what he said was, if we reach 10, I own you. So I don't know if everyone listening knows the backstory of Imperial Orcs at Empire, but they are, in living memory, slaves. Or they were, in living memory, slaves.
Oh, goddamn. Why did he say that? Idiot.
And
what did they do?
They almost killed each other. There was a lot of fake blood. He started the fight by biting the neck of the orc, and obviously popping a fake blood tablet in his mouth, so he was drooling blood. Beating the shit out of him, sort of exclaiming lots of death threats and hatred. And then, what happened? He pulled out knuckle dusters that he'd had wrapped in bandages and hidden away, a 7th weapon. So he was using those, LARP safe knuckle dusters.
He's the worst!
Yeah, and then the orc popped his eye. Like, he was full on, like, tussling with him, and he had fake blood, like, popped the thing in his hand, and he squirted, and it went flying in the air. And I kid you not, it squirted in the air, and it landed on the face of a child who was watching the fight. So we're all there, like, screaming, like, Spartacus style. Blood spatters across the face of this child that was, like, watching it with eager eyes. Yeah, so he pops this guy's eye, there's blood everywhere, and he gets him down, we start chanting, but the orc goes, like, full-on rage mode and starts ground and pounding. Yeah. And the other orc's coming to try and, like, stop him, and he, like, throws him to the side and knocks this female orc clean on her ass. And it goes silent. It goes completely silent, because obviously it's quite a prevalent orc in the community, the one that he's just knocked over, and you just hear this big orc that's just covered in blood go, "I'm sorry." And a bunch of medics fix the Marcher up, and he's like, I think, because it was the white orc that, like, leads the pit fights, the one that, like, opens it and talks about it. So he was like, I think somebody else should take over.
Fucking hell.
That was one of the main things. The other smaller fights were similar to the last one. They were awesome and good fun. The Royal Rumble just was incredible. They had because there's the different clans or tribes. I can't remember what they're called. Legions. And banners and Imperial Orcs. There's one called the Iron Tide, and they all wear very fancy coats. And at one point, there were 4 of them in there, and they were all circling and, like, look like they're about to beat the living hell out of each other. And all of a sudden, they just run in and, like, give each other a massive hug. And they're all just, like, chanting and, like, going around saying how they're the best. And then for, like, the next 4 people that come in, they just all gang up on them and throw them. Someone climbed up the outside.
Yeah.
And, like, climbed all the way up and was standing on top of the wall of the pit and leapt in
Fucking hell.
And to jump them. And he also then got thrown out. But yeah, it was amazing. There was the winner was 2 female orcs at the end, and they had a massive fight, beat so much crap out of each other. And,
that's amazing.
The reward was this big, like, Scanlan-sized tankard that was the orc that died tankard. And
bless.
So yeah, it was amazing. I love it. I get so into it.
Yeah.
I don't watch wrestling, like MMA, boxing, anything like that in real life, but orcs going like toe to toe,
fucking murder. Yeah,
I live for it.
It's great, and they do it so well as well. They do proper stage fighting. It's fantastic. Like, if you ever get a chance to go, do it. Exactly.
Like I said, E2 they do it consistently, but if
this was a special
one, I'm wondering how they're going to top it next time.
Legit, that's a lot. That is a lot. Pop the guy's eye out. I mean, where can you go from there? We're not going to look into that.
Your Saturday, because I think that's mostly mine, because I was kind of tying at the end.
Yes. Okay. Right. Fuck. Where do I even start with Saturday? Jesus Christ. So we did monstering at the apex of it, rolling out of bed in the morning. Go and do the thing with everyone else. Oh, actually, yeah, that's a point. Another thing that happened on Friday was that I did actually go to Dunharth at one point looking for this scrub lord.
Hi.
Hi there. Hi, how you do? But yeah, and I found Ailson, and we had a lovely little chat, and on the back of that, Ailson was the one person in the field, other than Reedon here, who actually knew the truth of Pip's business, which is how she earns her money in downtime.
She's a baddie.
Which is murder.
She's just a baddie.
She's literally an actual mercenary for hire. But yeah, that was hilarious.
I mean, now she is gone. We can talk about how our characters actually knew each other, I guess.
We can.
That could be a bit fun. Sorry to interrupt your Saturday or Friday but
thing.
Yeah, so Reedon was actually a merchant originally. And him and his late cousin owned a little shop. It was furs and other assorted oddities was the description, and he sorted the furs and ran the shop, and I did the oddities, which consisted of me traveling to various different nations and getting things that were basically basic bitch to them, and then selling them as exotic goods to the other nations.
Yep.
Be like, look at this brass coast scarf, sell it to the Varushkans.
It's just random chat that's their mum's like left on the sideboard, and Reedon's gone yoink.
Yeah, but the merchant life was not for them, and on his final big haul, he was going through the monster-filled lands of Varushka, and therefore needed a little bit of extra muscle.
So, on the back of that, he went to one of the shadiest fucking fight pits that apparently he could find in a small town. I forget now what we called it. It was like
I can't remember.
Ashenwood or something.
Something wood.
Yeah, something would. And he rocked up to this tavern and saw Pip, my character, beating the ever-living fuck out of some guy with a chair in this with a chair in this fighting pit that this tavern had set up. So seeing Reedon looking at her while she was doing this, came over afterwards and was like, "Can I help you?"
Yeah.
And then essentially we got drunk, fought in the pit. Almost burned down the tavern, and then split town and became pretty much fugitives from that town's head of like the militia of that town, which is hilarious. Walking in, because I came in with the notice from the guy himself from that town, and just went, "Hey, Reedon, guess what?
You basically had a note from the captain of the guard saying, "I will find you and I will kill you."
Yep, it was hilarious, super funny.
We went on a little expedition through Varushkan lands. We came up with a bunch of stories for things that we'd fought, and including just various stuff that I don't even know if is even on brief, but it's on brief for our story.
Yeah, demon possession,
getting possessed and
thrown through trees.
Yeah, exactly, and we ended it with arriving. And whilst I was doing business or away or taking a leak or something, I promised you payment and one item from the haul that I was trying to sell. And so we decided that it would be left on me not being there for a second and you running off with a chest, which is technically one item, filled with various jewels and such, meaning there'd be a bit of contention there. And
jumped out the window with all of his tats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
hilarious. It's good times. Yeah. So that being said, the fight pit kind of has special relevance for that exact reason, because it was kind of how we met, was in a fight pit. It's just a nice tie-in whenever we see it. Yeah, like whenever we see the fight bit, it's like, you remember the days of Ashwood when Norvis burned down that tavern, he got well pissed. It was great. Yeah. That's a fun thing that you can do. You make background links and just spurn RP from there. It's great.
Yeah, coming up with your own backstory is all good, but working collaboratively with someone on just shit is so much fun, because you get to do, if you're up for it, you get to do actual, like, you know, do some conversations in character, whether that's over text or in person or online or whatever, and it makes it a lot more real than just you. Obviously, coming up with your own backstory is great, you know, your own tragic backstory or an interesting past, but working with someone is always a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion.
It makes the character feel more lived in, because obviously no character lives in solitude. Everyone interacts with someone at some point.
Precisely.
So if you've got that moment of meeting eyes with someone and being like, "Oh, I know you motherfucker," yeah, that's great. But yeah, so that happened. Obviously, that's no longer a going concern. So banter. Yeah. So monstering. I was a herald, yelling at all the players, killing a lot. I ate someone. Again, I seem to do that a lot when monstering. Like, people will go down, and it's like, well, if you die here, it's going to be a really shit death, because you've just kind of fallen over, and then your friends have ran away. So I want to give you something to remember and tell stories about later. Which usually includes reaching into their wounds, digging around a bit, and then, like, holding my hand up to their friends and waving, like, covered in their blood. Which is always hilarious, because the person on the floor is like, holy fucking shit.
What is this person on?
Legit. It's always funny. After that, God, what did I do after that? Probably, went to my coven. Times. Oh, shout out to the Bloodbark Coven. Holy fuck, you guys. Holy fucking fuck. Like, best coven in the world. We had our singing rock. There was a fiasco where it got stolen. That's it. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
yeah. On the Saturday, just after the battle, we came back, and it was like, the rock is gone. Where the fuck is the rock? What the shit? Has someone stolen my fucking magic rock? So we were walking around trying to find it, and like going to God even to check that it had been reported as like icy stolen, and to check it wasn't just someone OC drunk after timeout hauling it away from the camp. And when we eventually found it, guess what it was?
Well, I already know.
One of the fucking priests of the camp had decided to hide it under a rug at the back of the Navarre camp to teach us vigilance. Yeah.
Did you venom them?
I didn't. I wanted to. Sean took my wand away, so I wouldn't venom them, and I just was so close to punching them in the face. It was unreal. But I did tell them that their virtues and their religion is bullshit.
Heresy.
Legit. I was shocked that I got out of that one, actually. Pip was a very angry little Navari. So that happened. Yelled at a priest of the way. Heresy number 1 of the weekend. Excellent going, I think. And then we just ended up getting ready for things and going to the Liathavan skirmish, which was, holy fuck, one of the best things I have ever experienced in my goddamn life. Like, in terms of LARP battles, that was the one where, if I had to name one where I felt truly useful, and like if I wasn't there, I'm not sure how it would have gone. Like that is that one, because we had all our venom, and it was me and Lucas with our venom sticks fucking taking down dryad after dryad, just one-shotting them.
It takes them down in one hit, doesn't it, venom?
Yeah, it does. And they pop, and it's amazing. So we would go around venoming things and like sprinting between the lines. So we were running between the front lines of this fight. So we were surrounded at the time. We'd scouted ahead sort of through the massive battlefield at the top to get through the gate and into the little skirmish area that they normally use. So it'd been quite a trek, seeing husks shambling towards us as we were running, guarding Tal, our main ritualist, and we just went full fucking scout stealth mode. Nice. In the bushes, leaping out, venom, duck back in. And it was fantastic. And at one point, one of our Navarre actually died in this skirmish. And they were dead on the floor. We found their body, and we were like, right, we need to turn the circle on this corpse, because otherwise it's going to get up and start shambling around.
Yeah.
So in the middle of this fight, being borne down upon by lines and lines of Valon husks and giant beetle things and dryads and just whatever the fuck else, we had a ritual performed where me and Lucas, the other member of my coven, went full on. We will send this soul to the labyrinth. You will not take his body for your own purposes, you Valon scum. And did this proper feels-filled ritual in the middle of the battlefield. And that was amazing. I think we gave the Fizz rep a good death.
Awesome.
For that one.
That's the best thing, isn't it?
Very good. And then the last thing to note about that skirmish was the sneak attack that me and Lucas pulled on a beetle with their back turned. We'd just thrown, I think it was someone through the gate, the Varushkans actually who came with us. We'd thrown them through the gate because we weren't sure whether we'd all make it out of there alive, because there were wave after wave of them and the ritual wasn't finished yet and the gate was about to close. And we're like, okay, if anyone's getting out of here, it's the people who aren't Navarre. So we sent the Varushkans back through, came back to the line and saw this beetle skulking around in front of the line with their back turned to us. We just sort of gave each other a look, nodded, fucking ran at them. They didn't see it coming at all and just paggered them into the floor. And it was just fantastic. Like, we got so many high fives from the scouts because obviously the line saw us do it.
Yeah.
But the beetles didn't see a fucking thing. Yeah, it was absolutely great. So that happened. Lovely skirmish. Got out of that skirmish.
Survived.
And immediately, yeah, I got out of that alive. I got out of that fine. And then the crazy started, like truly fucking kicked off because we got out of that skirmish and they were like, right, have you mastered the Dance of Navarre and Thorn? We're going to do a ritual in the Reggio. Let's do this. And that was why you saw me running away from God, screaming my head off.
Yeah. When we were sitting there eating some bratwurst, and I see you and your friend running off, so I'm like, I sort of shout at you, get your attention, and you just look at me and scream all capital A's at me, and I just turned back to my friends, and I'm just like, she's doing something ritually.
Yeah.
I just like, I know.
Yep. She's either on something ritually or about to go do it.
My thought was that you'd already had something cast on you, and this was a role-playing effect. Because I was like, normally she'd insult me, but she just screams. There's something going on here.
Yeah. It was the case of we'd had spring magic poured into our brains, both me and my coven member at this point. So we were already insane, and we were about to go and cast more spring. So, but yeah, we did the Dance of Navarre and Thorn for the Thule Ambassador, which was contentious because my lovely Wintermark friend here can attest that Wintermark does not like the Thule.
Fuck the Thule.
For very
valid reasons. It's a common
valid
expression
reasons.
that we shout as a nation. We frequently shout that.
Yes. Would you like to explain why, or are we going to...
No.
Leave that to imagination. He just doesn't like
baddies.
Them. Baddies. Yeah, so
they own a third of our homeland.
Legit. There's a sore spot there, ladies, gents, and non-binaries. So yeah, we were casting the Dance of Navarre and Thorn. I can't speak, muff. The Dance of Navarre and Thorn for the Thule to create trods in their nation, essentially. Yeah, I know.
Why?
Yeah. Now look, the trods are super awesome magical roads which essentially divert energy away from the Valorn and into the people walking them. Which means they're super fucking cool and magical. And the Thule wanted them put in their territory in order to be able to sign a peace treaty that they'd been drafting with the Senate, I believe, or something official. I don't know. And this Thule guy kept us fucking waiting, the douchebag. Like, what a meanie. We were sat there waiting to go, and they just weren't turning up. And 10 minutes got to 15, and we were like, where is this guy? Fuck this guy, man. So he came, finally, and we started this ritual. But despite the fact that we had to cast this for them, otherwise they would throw their teddy out of the pram, Pip did manage to get him to absolutely shit a brick during the ritual. Now, something that I haven't really talked about Pip was that she was, in fact, a freedom heretic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So during this ritual, she was invited to speak and went full on. Yeah, we're gonna open these trods. We shall open these lands and show them the way the Navarre do things, bitches. And just makes eye contact with the Thule ambassador and says, "We will open these trods for freedom," like capital F freedom. Yeah. And I just saw his face go, Oh my fucking god, she did not.
What she do?
Legit, like none of the rest of the ritualists clocked it, thank fuck, because I may have been inquisitioned. Actually, that might have saved me from death. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, that happened. Ritual closed. We did well. We did the thing. Trods are in full lands. I'm so sorry.
The last act of your fucking character.
Well, no, it wasn't, and we'll get to that. We will get to that motherfucker. We did that thing. That was pretty fun. And then the time came. The final stand of Pip Lombard, the mercenary motherfucker. What happened was I had been inducted into a order, basically, called the Combat Librarians, where Shan Eternal needed people who knew a lot about the Valorn to go out and fight the Valorn, and then if anything new happened, you know, come and say something.
Yeah.
So this skirmish at 8:45, the fated skirmish, was to retrieve a librarian friend of Shan's from the Black Plateau, where she had been kidnapped and tortured by the Thule and gone a little bit crazy and managed to escape. We need to go and rescue the hostage and bring her back. Because obviously she knows a lot about the Valorn, so we might need her and her information. And either way, she's Shan's friend. So Pip and Lucas were like, you know what, mate? Yeah, fine. Let's do the thing. This is going to be great. We're invincible. What could possibly go wrong? We just were badasses, and Whitecap said that we carried the skirmish. So, like, you know, suck it, Anvil. We ran through the Sentinel Gate and were hit directly in the face with the Black Plateau curse. Now, I talked about this last time at E2, wherein we went to the Black Plateau on the Sunday, and it amplifies every bad emotion that you have and makes you want to take it out. Yeah, it makes you want to take it out violently on someone else. And when you do this, you regain a hero point.
Yeah, it
and
feels
you
good.
Yes, and you regain all of them if you execute that person.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's fucking brutal. So we ran in, and immediately everyone starts at each other's throats. Like, there was infighting, there was shit getting kicked up. We rescued the librarian finally, but like, then really just the retreat got fucked, like it usually does when the Black Plateau curse is involved. Me and one of the guys who has an artifact of the nation called the Barb, which is a giant motherfucking spear of awesome, had a full-on argument directly in line of 3 Druge who were bearing down on us, and we just gave no attention to them and fucking screamed at each other.
Yeah.
Like, he got cleaved in the leg at that point, so Pip scampered off, got back to the line, and then looked over and heard Lucas, her coven mate, screaming for help behind Druge lines. And she went, well, I can't leave him behind. I'm gonna have to make a choice here. And the choice that she made was go and try and save him. There was a point where I snuck behind the enemy lines, behind the bushes in the skirmish forest, and saw like their backs turned to me as they were facing down the Navarre line, and just thought, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die here.
Yep.
Because there is no way I'm getting back. But yeah, and from there, I just took the Elixir Vitae, which was in my hand, which is what is known as the Scout's Last Resort. That's the thing that you get to pour down someone's throat, to pour down your, just to pour down someone's throat to get them back up, or someone else can pour it down yours. It's your last chance. She ran and combat slid again down beside Lucas's body, began pouring it down his throat, and then they turned around and went, get her. At which point 2 Druge ran after me, and another one followed. Deployed a cheeky strike down call, which knocked me on my ass, and then beat me into the floor. So yeah, that was a fun time for everybody involved. Now, as I lay there dying, I was giving it proper mouthy shit, as was her way. Exactly. Pip died as she lived, screaming her fucking head off, various insults and slights. Sort of giving it, come back and finish me, you cowards. You're not good enough to actually kill me. You're fucking useless. At which point, one of the Druge turns around and goes, shut up. At which point, Pip goes, make me. And he does. So ran back over, shield bashed me in the face, put the shield on my neck and said, you're going to die here. Spat at him, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
And told him to get fucked. And then bled out in the rain. And the last thing that I remember, and it's just hilariously cinematic, was this Druid walking away and the footsteps receding as I'm staring up in this break in the tree line. And the rain just starts truly tipping it down. And it's just fucking cinematic because it's just raining on me and I'm lying there, arms flayed with elixir vitae still in one hand, not able to take it or get it to my coven mate, and just bleed out in the dirt. So cinematic. And then obviously the ref called us over when everyone was out and the skirmish was resolved and said, sorry you died, you're being dragged back to a Druid encampment right now, you're going to be tortured for a few days, especially you mouthy fuck, and then you're going to be executed and left on a body pile, so go and re-roll. And yeah, that was the end of Pip Lombard.
Yeah, a little bit later than that, because I was in my hall. I know exactly the moment you mean about when it started raining. I can remember, I know exactly where I was. I was in the hall, and we were like, "Oh, it's raining a lot, isn't it?" And
oh man,
and we were there for a while, and some people came to the hall apparently, and Jason, who plays Theodoric, one of the generals, he sort of like taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, "Oh, do you know anything about how Pip died?" And I'm there like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
You bitch.
The fuck? Yeah, no, I didn't know. I had no idea. Apparently some of your friends had come to the hall and asked him, because obviously you were known to hang around with us quite a bit, asked to see if we knew any details about it. I didn't even know it had happened. Yeah. So that's how I found out about it. I genuinely needed a moment.
Aww.
I was like, it was the same day that I had lost my cousin / best friend, as was several other close people close to Reading, and then the evening we're starting to chirp up again. People are cheering each other up. Had some alcohol. We're sort of respecting our dead, and then all of a sudden, by the way, you know, like your Navari best friend, she toast.
She did as fuck.
Yeah, and so I was like just dumbfounded and sort of like didn't know what to say, and then we sort of continued the night, and then Matt Reed, who plays Balder, comes in the tent, and I sort of see him, and we make eye contact. I'm like, I kind of just already knew, and he sort of just like pointed out the tent. I was like, yeah, I guessed, and I sort of run out the tent and see you there.
Yeah,
dressed in different clothing,
no markings,
with your ukulele, no facial tattoos.
Although tell you something funny. Because I'd obviously just re-rolled, and like the re-rolling is fucking brutal, let me just say, right? The wizard is a meanie, she a bitch, okay? That wizard a bitch.
The wording of it when you get rid of your character.
Oh man, it's like,
confirm
are you sure?
that you no longer want this character.
Yeah, and it's like, oh bitch, if I could, I would go back and undie, but that's not how this works.
Exactly. I reckon they do that on purpose because it's so savage.
It's brutal. It's fucking brutal. So I literally just went there and like downed 2 glasses of port and then kept going, and I was like, bitch, fuck you. But yeah, so Tal, wonderful, lovely Tal, bless you, Dave. I love you. You're awesome. Best Rigor, totally best Rigor. He introduced me to the Wintermark egregores, who are also lovely, lovely people.
They're amazing people.
They're so cool. And
which ones did you meet?
The Calavesi one,
she's so cool.
She's so badass. And the tall, beardy guy, that's really no reference exactly.
I think it's the Steiner one because the Suak one was unavailable that day. He stayed behind in Summer Suak when we retreated to retrieve the bodies. So I think it would have been the Steiner and the Calavesi one.
That makes a lot of sense. He did actually look like a Steiner. Like, if you think Steiner, you have an image that comes to mind.
Yes.
Usually, very stacked, beardy guy in like chainmail, or like very well built person with a lot of clank. This person fit that description pretty well. But yeah, so we'd had a chat, and at one point I went to rub my face. And normally I'm like, oh shit, no makeup, I can't touch my face, fuck. And then I made the Agruas laugh because I went, oh my god, I can rub my fucking face now, and just like smushed my face. And it was the best thing. Like, if there was a one highlight of that evening, it would have been just rubbing my face and going, yes!
Being able to touch your face again.
I could touch my
Welcome
face.
Welcome to Wintermark, we can touch our faces.
We can touch our faces. Unlike Navarre, where you're just like, oh my god, my makeup's gonna rub, I hate this. My tattoos are running.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was Saturday.
It was, yeah. We sort of stood there. We we kept it out of character, chatting with David about sort of guild different LARPs and things like that, just because obviously it was quite fresh. I bless you, I could tell that you were shaken.
Yeah.
I've never seen you so sad and shaken.
I was very sad.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh man, the sweetest thing though, when I was like, we're having a family night, coming and like join in, and you were like, is this like an official yes, it's an official invite. Jesus, I've been trying to get you to join Wintermark/Dunhearth for a year.
Yeah. Oh man.
You're in.
I was so nervous. I was weirdly nervous walking up. I was going, what if they turn around and just say nah?
No, we don't want you.
Yeah. What if they just say nah, bitch?
Yeah.
What do I do? What do I do then? I've got no plan.
Exactly.
Panic.
So Ella has now joined Wintermark, and more specifically the group that I'm in, Dunhearth Hall. We finally got her. But yeah, I pushed you through the entrance of the tent and said, "Here's a new cousin," and you got quite a good reception. I think everyone was very happy. There was a lot of people that were confused because obviously you look like, very much like our token Navari friend. But yeah, made it very clear. I was like, "This is the new cousin." Yeah. Everyone received you quite well, I think. And then
yes, it definitely helped you doing that, because then I didn't have to go around all evening going, "No,
yeah, it's tough."
Not that person. They look a lot like me, but I'm not that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we hung out for a little bit, and I heard, we sort of joined in the sing-songs, which is what our hall does best, I think. Mm-hmm. Family nights and the sing-songs and that.
Yeah, I had a bit of an edge on some people, you might say, who are fresh to Dunhearth, because I'd already hung out with Dunhearth and therefore knew a lot of their songs already. So I sort of was able to give them a rendition of a few of their homeland ditties.
Awesome.
Whilst we were sat there.
Well received.
Yeah, it was a good time. As far as death evenings go, it was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Got absolutely wankered. Oh yeah, and then after that, I left Dunhall and went and got wankered with the Eternal family. Which, nice. By the way, shout out to the Eternal family. Thank you for welcoming in Camp Rock Calavessa, who was already really drunk, into your tent and letting her make a sandwich, or like try and make a sandwich and sort of failing, because she was drunk and her hands were not functioning. It was a fairly alright evening actually, and then woke up a little bit hungover the next day. It was good, but yeah, the hype actually didn't end because Pip's death caused a lot of crap.
It did.
Yeah, it like people were sad, and that absolutely blew my mind because I was like, I was here for 2.5 events.
Yeah, you came to Empire with the mindset of this will be the chill event where I do nothing and I don't become a big deal and no one knows me and I just have fun and drink, and then and then all of a sudden, you did Ella and therefore met everyone and became well known and had responsibility and power and friends and.
And then I died. Yeah. And people, like, genuinely, they were going to retrieve mine and Lucas's body from the plateau. And I came and I had a look around the Navarre camp on Sunday. And Edwolf, one of our scouts, he was wearing Pip's pendant that I'd given to Rowan and said, "You find this on the battlefield at the plateau if you want. Have fun with that, I guess. Like, you don't have to do it. I understand if you don't want to. It wasn't really that big of a deal." And yeah, I came in the next day and they were like, "Yeah, no, it was passed around the scouts and now I have it. And we're going to go find your bodies because we ain't going to let you rot in the Druge camp." And the marchers, again, shout out to Zachary Clayton because he started a diplomatic incident over Pip's death.
Amazing.
Came in, wanted to execute the guy who led the skirmish, who essentially left us behind. And yeah, he ended up punching a Draugr in the face and coming back with a posse and rough musicking the entire Navarre camp. Yeah, so that was surreal on a number of levels. And I've just been chatting with someone today, in fact, and they are going to find out what Pip's striding was called and like tattoo it on their arm as a memorial. And I got a letter come through at the beginning of this week from someone declaring their love to my character and giving her this ring that they were going to imbue with the powers to fight off the miasma and to essentially never get turned into a husk. Yep. So that was just completely ridiculous and I'm blown away. And it just is a testament to Empire, to how you can be a grubby little nobody, come in, make friends, and then suddenly like just the craziest shit will go down because of you or like in response to something you've done. And it was fantastic. Like as far as deaths go, I'm pretty satisfied.
Yeah. Good. It was your first character death, wasn't it?
Yes, again. Woo!
Big deal.
Big deal, man. I've got a new rank on my LARPer little badge on my LARPer bingo. Died.
Achievement unlocked.
Achievement death. Achievement diplomatic incident caused by death. Yes. So that was pretty much my event, actually.
Man, I mean, the Sunday monstering, you monstered again.
I did monster again.
I'm seriously surprised you didn't sort of roll up a temporary Navarre and fight, because at Empire you monster one fight and play the other, and you true to your word, you monstered both because you changed nations, which is more than I think most people would do. So well done. But you got to play in that fight Ella, basically, didn't you?
I did.
The description that we were provided for your role was crazy people.
Yep. So I literally just went around and fucking screamed at people and threw myself at their line, pegged them into the floor, and then fell over, and then went back and did it again.
Once again, we were in the Black Plateau, so we were briefed as orc. I was being an orc, and as part of my elite monster unit, we were briefed with the same Black Plateau curse. Tensions are running high. You're agitated. The slightest thing will turn you on your brother and your friends, and you'll fight each other. And true to that, before the fight had even started, before the Imperials were even on the field, we were fighting amongst ourselves. The Imperial Orc EMU, it's terrific work with what they do, because they came up with like matching uniforms, so you can instantly recognize them. It's quite funny recognizing some of the Imperial Orc masks, but so there was one of the Pale Orcs, quite a recognizable Imperial Orc character, has a big old dwarf beard that he puts over his mask to obviously differentiate him. Yeah, it's quite funny. But yeah, we were at each other's throats. Our EMU was shouting, and we got all up in each other's faces, and
amazing.
Almost started a fight before the fight had even started.
Yep. And then meanwhile, all the crazy people were back behind the trees, going shh, 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 because we've been told to be quiet, and we were fucking insane.
The fight, we were at each other's throats, and Stu, and his name was Pad or Stu because he was a twin and they didn't know who was called who. So he was like, my name's Pad or Stu, and he was putting on a thick New Zealand accent, basically being Korg from Ragnarok, and he came over and diffused this tension by walking in and saying, do you want to hear a story about bees?
Oh, bless.
And he basically had this weird story that he'd come up with about how bees could be the death of humanity, not by dying themselves like his IRL sad cry face, but by them taking over the world. And so whenever we were marching into battle, you could hear him going, have you ever tried to tie 3 bees together with a piece of string? And we were like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I love it. That's adorable.
Yeah.
Bless.
Yeah, so we were told to wait, not advance too far, so the horde of crazy people could charge into the enemies.
Yep, and we did.
Big ruckus. You did, and it was
constantly.
Awesome.
We were literally that swarm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were a swarm of really fast-moving, stupid zombies. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we didn't do as well monstering that fight as I normally do. We'd had some in the previous 2 events. We'd had some pretty brutal monstering where we'd taken down quite a few players. This time we're a little bit more disjointed. I think we need to work on uniformity a bit with our EMU to make us all more recognizable amongst each other. Because my friend Reese and I, we've come up with our own little smaller EMU within the big Wintermark ones for a little more skirmishing, a bit more role play. So it means rather than just being orcs that are there to die, we actually came up with characters and have a bit of fun.
Orc Mischief.
Orc Mischief is called, yeah. And I can add that to you now, actually. Add you to that, rather. Yeah, and so had a lot of fun still. We were actually sneaking, I was in chamber, but we were full on sneaking through the brush, and you could hear the Navari being trying to figure out where we were, keep your eyes on them. And we spoke to some afterwards at OC, and they were like, I thought there were about 70, but there was about 20 of us all sneaking around them. And we went all the way full on flank. Still died, but it was good fun. Absolutely. It's good times. I wandered around, and if you wander around slightly nonchalantly, people don't notice you. Yeah, they think you're an Imperial. That's exactly. Even though the Imperials weren't fighting, they get confused. So I was walking around, and I see this big line of shattered tower people as a high guard group. Yeah. And I just start slashing at them, screaming. I haven't got any cleaves. We didn't get cleaves. They didn't give us any cleaves. No, you got no hero points, bro. I know. So I just and they were so confused and turn around. They all form a line. And I'll just sort of walk away. Fuck you. You've noticed me now. This isn't fun anymore. Just Bruce, what are you gonna do? Fucking droopy Bruce, man. Yeah. I'm excited. I got hit in the face with an arrow. I love it. Of course you did.
Everyone does at some point. Like, I feel like that is your Empire initiation. You have to get shot in the face at least once, and then like you're fully empired. That's how you Empire. It's good.
So we lost, but we won. Obviously,
yeah.
The monsters lost. The Imperials won that fight. I can't remember what their objective was.
I don't know.
They did it.
Whatever. I don't care. We thought that it's fine. It's fine.
As is normal at Empire, on the Sunday, once I've finished monstering, I'm kind of wiped.
Yep.
The event still goes on for another 3 hours, and people are having meetings, and big important decisions are made, and I'm just there like,
fuck this.
Sweating.
I want a Mackey's.
Yeah, exactly. I start packing away. Which
Legit.
Is, I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much because I have no energy left. I think I've gotten all I can out of the event at that point, and I definitely did this time.
It was funny because this event truly felt like I drove it like I stole it. Exactly. Which is a common phrase that you'll come across at LARP. Drive it like you stole it, which means essentially don't take it too seriously, don't get too sad about it, don't be too precious about it. Just fucking ram it into a hedge and off a cliff. It'll be great. Yeah, the metaphorical cliff of Empire. And it was actually funny because it was because of this decision to pack up early that I saw the tail end of my lynch mob from the marchers.
Amazing.
Marching out of the Navarre camp with rough music, and I just remember going, oh, that's nice. I wonder what that was about. I'm just like wandering back to the car, and then Zach messaged me like 2 hours later going, that was you, bitch.
That was for you.
That was for you, you hoe. And you missed your own fucking rough music.
You almost went to your own funeral.
Almost went to my literal own funeral. Surreal. Absolutely surreal.
That's a LARP thing you can do.
you went to your own yeah. It was an amazing event. Emotionally, one of the most draining things I've ever done, but holy fuck, was it worth it. Empire, I love you.
Oh, this sounds like a good point to end, but I have a story that I want to tell that I forgot to tell.
Oh man, do you want to just slip it in?
Sorry, we were bringing it to a close, and it was beautiful, and I loved it, but I just want to slip this one in. It was actually during the big fight on Saturday. Before to open the Sentinel Gate for us to go into battle, the egregores will often do a lot of speaking, a lot of talking, and since they're different, the egregores, I don't think we've mentioned this before, are like the physical embodiment of the nation, so represent the nation in one human form.
Yes.
And so they will speak up a big game about that. So the Wintermark one comes up and he starts talking about, like, do you hear that on the wind? That is, and giving this great spiel. And I have Reese next to me, his character Uber. And for the entire weekend, every fight we'd gone to, he had been adamant that we were going to die.
Yes! He really wanted to kill off his character.
He did. Because E3 last year, his girlfriend Emily, who played Ilva, her character died, and in character they were they were married, and so he's been living whilst his wife has perished this whole time.
Aww.
And so that's his reasoning for it. He kind of wants to die, and so is just driving it like he stole it almost. He's going into each fight with no fear and taking it head on, but he likes to milk that and put it on us as well. So before the fight, it was like, I'm gonna die, Reedon. And if I die, you're dying. I'm like,
fuck's sake.
What the fuck is
What's wrong with you?
He's like, if we're retreating and it's scrunchy, I'm calling the 6 and we're going to stand there and we're going to hold it and we're going to die. I'm like, I don't think you have that kind of power, Reese.
Legit. Like, you're really cool, but
nah,
mate.
It was great fun, though. And so before we went through Sentinel Gate, the girls were saying, did you hear that on the wind? And he'd be there standing next to me going, it's death. Like, it's like, we're going to go there. And die. And this is a big moment. The whole nation's there. Like, we're all ready. We're gearing up. And I see people like looking at me because I keep staring at him and like trying not to laugh. And I'm just giving him the eyes. And the egregore finishes his speech. And this whole time, it's just been like every sentence has just been and death. And we're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're all gonna die. And I just look at like, what the fuck?
What is wrong with
you?
you? Yeah.
Like, people are just like looking at me wide-eyed and laughing. The ones that could hear what he was saying.
Just what's your damage, Reese? God damn it, Uber.
Exactly. And anyway, in the big fight when it was so crunchy and we lost, and I was saying earlier how we lost Sam, we lost all loads of my cousins and family.
Yeah. He lived.
He was down twice, and he was close to dying both times. The first time, one of our healers, played by either Graham or Gareth, sorry I can't remember, he crawled over and they played dead together whilst the Jotun were like running past, and then they healed him and they ran off together and survived. So the healer earned the name Foxhand for being a skillful, sneaky
Sly bitch.
Sly, that's the one, thank you.
Sly bitch. The
other time he survived was because he was bleeding out on the floor and he got dragged to a tree and he was like, this is it. I'm going to die. The Jotun was sort of like, there was another Wintermarker bleeding out against this tree and the Jotun like, die with your friend. The other winter marker was feigning death. And the other winter marker was Bron, who's played by Alex Smith, who, the YouTuber, Hat Films and all that. He's
yes.
there feigning death against this tree.
Amazing.
He's like, psst, I'm not dead.
Are you dead?
Slips him a potion.
Fuck's sake. God damn it.
Uber takes the potion, picks up his weapons, walks away. As the Jotuns sort of see him confused walking away, he flips him the bird, leaves, lives to fight another day. Doesn't die in this battle where he was dead certain to die. Turns out Bron had been sneaking and crawling between trees, playing dead, to try and get people back up and survive himself.
Nice one.
Yeah, and therefore saved Uber's life.
God damn it. If only Banning had that.
Yeah, I know, right? Where were you, huh?
Damn it. Bron, you were in the wrong place, man.
You needed 8 more potions on you.
Go back and fix Banning. How could you?
Exactly. But yeah, I just thought I needed to tell that story because, oh man, he was so certain he was going to die. And then throughout the whole sleep, I was like, I just want to die, man. Like, you can't stop talking like this.
Yeah. It's bad, man.
It's bad. Like,
you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm gonna come back next time and I'm just gonna courage the fuck out of his face.
He doesn't need it. He's not scared.
Stop it. Yeah. Just like do it for the right reasons. If you're going to be a gimmer because you're courageous, not because you're suicidal.
Exactly.
Boy.
Yeah, he's good fun.
Boy. Yeah, I feel like that's a good place to end because we've overrun slightly. Ever so slightly.
Mega. We agreed. No on your left or questions really this episode because we know that we probably could have frothed for another 2 hours on Empire. Yeah. This is just our highlights. So
we do love a bit of Empire.
If you're on the fence about Empire,
fucking come to Empire.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big one. But that's not something to be intimidated by. I've spoken about it like 20 or so times at this point. But yeah, definitely come. If this doesn't convince you, I don't know what will.
Exactly. And I mean, like, this is what I was saying at the beginning of the year. I was not sure about Empire. I didn't want to really get involved as much. And like we said earlier, I fully expected to just come in, be a dipshit, drink, and die. And then, like, no, it really just flipped it on its head, and now it is legit up there with my favorite systems. So no matter what you are having misgivings about, if you feel like, I don't know, whatever it is, go to Empire, give it a go. If you hate it, that's fine. But if not, I think you will have the same experience as me of just being like, holy shit, this is how Feths are goddamn done.
Yeah,
this is great. My jam.
If you're able for any kind of concession through military teaching, students is probably the big one. Then you get £50 discount off that. Not even on your, that's just forever. That's not like your first ticket. That's any one that you apply that you are eligible for. And if it is your first event, you can also use discount codes to get another £15 off. So you're saving 30. If you get like the early booking, I think that probably brings it down to like 40 quid for the ticket for a full weekend. So if money is an issue, amazing. There are ways to get around it. And
yeah, come to Empire. Everyone should come to Empire, and we will see you on the field.
Yeah, come see us, even though you haven't seen our faces. But if you've stalked us enough to know our faces, come see us.
Yeah, do some cheeky Facebook stalking, and I'll see you. We'll see you in the field because we love your faces.
Yeah,
and you guys coming up to us and saying that you enjoy our stupid little startup it makes our day every single fucking time.
It does.
It really does. Like, we have to go and have a little squee in a toilet.
A little moment, yeah.
We have to go and have a moment, just like roll on the floor, frothing at the mouth a little bit. It's great. It's, it's fine. Yeah, I think that's it.
We did a podcast.
We did another podcast, and
are you proud of us, listeners? We haven't stopped recording yet. This is just
leave it in the comments below. Leave it in the comments below if you're proud of us or not.
leave it in the comments below.
In the comments below. She's a YouTuber now, Maury.
Yeah, and it's quickly mentioned actually. We've had a bunch of people commenting questions and stuff in the comment section. We haven't forgotten them. We're probably going to do another big old fan-filled episode next. So
yes,
we'll get round to them.
We'll do an episode celebrating all of your lovely, lovely faces and comments and cool stuff.
Precisely.
Yeah. Love you all. Bye.
I love you all.
We love FMUF.
FMUF.
FMUF.